I love Dominik Mysterio. I do.
Who doesn't love Dominik Mysterio?
I am so proud of this kid that he has made his own lane, because I remember when he came up, he was Rey Mysterio's boy, and they were going ahead and doing this tag team, and it had a little bit of buzz for a while, and then it got stale, because it's like, how long can you be able to do this? Obviously, Ray is very old, right? Well, not very old, but he's older. He's not going to be full time as much as you want him to be. So where was Dom going to fit there? Where was his position going to be? Is he a believable character because he's so slight of build? He's tall, very slight of build. Is he a believable character? And we just didn't know where it was going until he figured out what he was. And man, like, I don't think that there's a better character in WWE right now, in regards to that. He embodies what it is to like be this swarmy weasel. I'm just gonna cheat to win. He reminds me of Eddie. Like, obviously Eddie wasn't a swarmy
Well,
weasel,
like
but
father, like son.
right, exactly. And it's just, I'm really, really proud of the character and how he's built himself up, man, because he's standing on his own, and he has so many more years ahead of him to be really a mainline main event guy, because obviously, when guys get older, they're gonna go ahead and transform again, and he's gonna be repackaged into something else, right? So, but it's just fun to watch. That it's just fun to watch him.
Once upon a time, everyone on any wrestling podcast, all, like the inside reports, were all saying, get Dom off my TV and put him in NXT because he's not ready.
Right.
And was there a period of time where, okay, maybe he should not be in that position? Yeah, you can make the argument for it.
Yep.
The transition that they made, you had the feel-good moment of him coming in. You had the feel-good moment of father-son tag team champions. When they pulled the trigger to turn him heel, have him join the Judgment Day, then we're all just like, shock. All right, we're going to do something unique with him. But then there's always the big question, because once there's ever a big turn, the question is, awesome, now what?
Now what? Yep.
We got far more than what we bargained for with Dominik on this run. From his mic work improving to the crowd reactions. I mean, there's been plenty of times where we could not even hear a word he said on the microphone. They were so loud.
Right.
To relationship storylines with Rhea and Liv and maybe Roxanne, poor guy. He's, but he's doing all these things. And then having the dissension with Finn Balor and the camaraderie, and then JD McDonough and Carlito and Damian Priest and AJ Styles and you name it. He's been working with pretty much everybody. And then, of course, you occasionally always just go back with Rey Mysterio, his supposed dad. And this past Monday on Raw, Rey made his return. Dominik was busy trying to cut a promo because he was successful in retaining his Intercontinental title at Saturday Night's Main Event. And there have been times where we have heard the crowd actually start getting behind Dominik.
Yeah.
So that's not a surprise. What was surprising was the crowd on Raw in New Mexico was more behind Dom than a returning Rey Mysterio.
Changing of the guard.
And Dominik now, while still a heel, obviously sneaking, finding ways to win during the match. So very smart during the match, and then doing things very stupid backstage that seemed to blow up in his face or his Judgment Day cohort's face, he is acting exactly like the last 5 years of Eddie Guerrero's career.
Yes.
Where we boo him, but we cheer him. He does heel stuff, but we love him. We still buy his merch, but we want him in a title picture. Oh, he goofed this thing up, but then he found a way to win. Mm-hmm. And I mean, even the pop that he got yesterday when Ray said, "You're insulting Eddie Guerrero," and he said, "Keep my dad's name out of your mouth." Dominik now is at the point, and he's been at this point for a while now, but this past Monday clearly showed he has the crowd in the palm of his hand, and he knows it. And now the crowd wants this match with Rey Mysterio to the point where they want Dominik to win the match with Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm. For the first time.
Yes. Because Ray started alluding to it. He said, like, as long as I'm here, this, and as long as I'm here, that. He made sure 3 things. There's the rule of 3 when it comes to acting and improv and wrestling. If you say the same thing 3 times, it makes it that much stronger and have that much more meaning. This is going to lead to some type of match that involves that if Ray loses, whether it's the mask or his career, it's bound to happen. Now, will it involve the Intercontinental title? Will it involve the AAA title? Will it not involve any title? Will Ray somehow cost Dominik the titles, and that leads them to have a match? Because really, that type of thing doesn't need a title.
No.
And Dominik, as great as he's been as Intercontinental Champion, I got no problem with him staying as Intercontinental Champion, but you could absolutely put him up in the main event picture now.
He can hold his own.
He can, which is the reason why, so many people have speculated that he would wrestle Cena in one of these last few matches. Maybe he would just have his own standalone match at War Games. So maybe it's a type of thing where Cena is trying to get the Intercontinental title to complete his Grand Slam. Dominik goes to cheat, and then Ray shows up to stop Dominik from cheating, causing Cena to win.
Right.
Gets the IC title to further the Dominik-Ray feud. Because now also WWE has to make a decision. Are we going to push this feud with Dominik and Ray from now to Mania and kind of hold off match with Finn Balor as they've been holding off for a long time? Do we hold off even longer? Or do we have Ray cost Dom, Judgment Day mad at Dom, Dom finally snaps, has his feud with Finn, so steps away from Ray, focuses on Finn for however long, and then goes back to Ray? Because we've already seen, obviously, Dom and Ray can jump in and out whenever they want. You kind of have that advantage when you're father-son. But I've been rambling on Dominik here because I love everything about this guy.
and the thing is,
what are you thinking?
You've been rambling about Dom, and I've been listening, and we have not even said anything about his improved in-ring ability. Right? Everything we've talked about is just the persona,
how the mic work, the
mic work. But the fact, if you check his in-ring work, he is starting to get sharp. He is hitting all of his moves. He's not a botch machine. Clean strikes. This is a guy that knows what he's doing in the ring and knows how to tell a story at such a young age. And that's why I believe that he's going to continue to excel. And yeah, the crowd sees it too. Everybody sees it. He's that young star that everybody looks at and says, yep, he has it.
He's one of those guys.
Yep, he's one of those guys. Like he's just going to continue to be what they want him to be until it gets to a point where it's undeniable. It's just like he's the biggest star in the company. You have to put the rocket behind him. So we're not there yet, but he is building his resume, and I'm very, very happy to see it because, I was one of those guys. To say, I think it might be time for Dom to go to NXT for a little bit. Not a long time. He doesn't need to be down there for a year, but I do think that because at that time they weren't really using him much, and I think that him going down to NXT would have been able to help him kind of clean up his stuff in the ring and get him a little bit more sharp. But he kind of just learned. I'm sure he was backstage asking a lot of questions. There's a lot of veterans there that are helping him along the way, and he's absorbed all of that, and he's taken in the stride, and he's excelled. So, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. So you think that this is gonna be like a culmination at WrestleMania between Ray and Dom?
Okay, it really just depends on how they want to go with it because of the Finn Balor and Judgment Day situation.
Right.
So it's also tricky because let's just say, because obviously we don't know for sure, but let's just say this would lead to some type of stipulation where if Ray lost, he would leave and he would retire. Because we know realistically Ray is close to retirement.
Yeah.
You already have Cena leaving in a little over a month from now, which is crazy to say.
All right.
We already know AJ Styles is leaving sometime in 2026.
Yeah.
So where would this fall? Because are you going to have Cena bye, Ray bye, AJ bye, just boom, boom, boom? Us middle-aged and crazy wrestling fans like you and I don't know if we'd be able to take that. That's just too much heartache. So it's a question of where it would go. Would this be something that they decide to scrap him having a match with Cena and just do this at Survivor Series?
Right.
Would this be something that you push to the Rumble? Would this be something you would push to WrestleMania? Would this be something you just planted the seeds for right now, and then he deals and has his months-long thing with Finn and other members of Judgment Day, and then go back to it to maybe it goes all the way to Mania or even SummerSlam?
Right, because you can be able to have Ray just kind of be in the wings, and when the time is right, he strikes, he calls Dom something, and now you have your SummerSlam match, right? So right. Yeah.
So what the best thing about this, though, is there are a number of ways you can go with it, and it has people like you and I guessing.
Yeah.
Because when you have people who know the product, not quite sure when and where they're going to do something, you got them.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, spot on. Listen, we're both big Dom fans, and we're gonna continue to watch as he continues to ascend and progress. Man, I'm a huge fan. There's nothing that he does that I don't like. What I mean? He's just gold right now. So shouts to Dom.